The Reddit Bureau of Investigations is a very cool subreddit. One I think that is really underutilized, actually. Get a few dedicated people on a thread, they can find out more information than the very best detectives. But increasingly over the last year, one topic has been coming up again and again. People posting this query and looking for answers. The query? They are getting very disturbing phone calls. Before we begin, I just want to say some of these calls are quite disturbing, so I'm going to put a little warning before I play each one in case you don't want to hear it. Maybe you want to turn the volume down. That's fine. We will then look into the reason behind these calls, which, as you can probably guess, is all about that cheddar cheese. This has happened at least 4 times that I could find, and this is just on the RBI subreddit. Let's look into these cases and what happens. Last night, my girlfriend received 5 calls from an unknown number with a local area code. Eventually, they left a voicemail. When my girlfriend called them back, she did not say hello until she heard someone breathing. Then a male's voice laughed and said hello, and a woman could be heard screaming. Then the other party ended the call. After that call, the number had only gone straight to voicemail. My girlfriend contacted local PD. They said they would attempt to trace the call and offered to have a car patrol our neighborhood for the evening. That was about all the information they could give her. Was it a joke, a sick prank, or something real? Was someone actually in danger? Let's look at the others. To make a long story short, my SO got a new phone. She discovered she had several missed voicemails. She started going through the voicemails. One voicemail was from a number we do not know. The area code is 480, placing the owner around Phoenix, Arizona. I've spent all day researching news about incidents that happened in that area during the afternoon of June 9th, 2017, and have exhausted my very limited abilities in researching. None of our family members or friends recognized the number either. You can see here the investigators quickly went into examining every single second of the recording. After saying he would contact the police, there are no further updates. Here's another. Thankfully, we don't have the audio. Twice I got called by a private number, and it sounds of what I presume to be a woman running. First time she sounded like she was crying, then it hung up. The second time she said, "He's coming," in a very distraught voice. Please tell me this is a scam or prank. I'm freaking out. Both calls came around 1 or 2 a.m. Lasted about 10 seconds. Should I notify the police? This time, though, without evidence, people were pretty quick to call it a prank. And this final one has the most information. I've received 17 calls by a number without a caller ID today. I've answered 3 of them, and all of them contained strange responses. Call 1. I answered and it stayed on the line for about 5 to 10 seconds. All I heard was a noise that was similar to wind or static. Call 2. When I answered this time, I heard a man and a woman talking. Here's the recording.
Oh.
This is call 3. Here's a picture of some calls that I received, and the time at which I received them. There were still more of these. I thought about what happened today, and I may or may not have uncovered some potentially useful information. I was initially getting disturbed with the amount of times this person would call me in a row. To stop myself from receiving calls, I turned on the Do Not Disturb button on my iPhone settings, and I made it so that only people who were in my contacts were allowed to call me. A few minutes after I did this, a call popped up on the screen of my phone. Around 40 minutes later, the person called again. I also was receiving a call once and it apparently failed. I think this indicates that this person was in an area with weak signal, but I'm not sure if that means much. Calling 17 times in one day and at 12:30 a.m. and 5 a.m. is a bit ridiculous for a prank. What would someone want with me? Who knows? But to show you how good the investigators are, that child screaming? It's from this ad in Greece. As we already know, this is a scam. It's a pretty creepy, disturbing, and sick way to get people freaked out so much they stay on the line. Here's an article in The Guardian about it. A woman in LA got a call where a screaming girl was saying, "Mommy, please help me. Someone grabbed me and I'm in a van. I don't know where I am." A man quickly got on the line and demanded that the mother withdraw money from her bank and transfer it to his account. He told her that if she contacted anyone, he would know, and if she refused to comply, he would kill her. This woman had a panic attack, thinking it was her daughter she had just left at home. But in reality, her daughter was perfectly fine. The woman lost over $3,000 sending money to this person. You see, this is a scam called virtual kidnapping. It's a scheme that is terrorizing and extorting American families. A police detective said they'll have someone screaming in the background. They're hoping to get somebody panicked to get them to do what they say immediately. The ransoms are usually relatively small. The aim is to keep the person on the line as long as possible. The podcast Reply All had an episode about it. Here's a clip.
How would somebody make money off of somebody else by calling their 1-800 number and playing like spooky sounds over the phone line? And he's able to piece together an explanation. So in the 1960s, toll-free numbers are invented, okay?
Mm-hmm. The way that the toll-free industry works is that it's a reverse payment system, right? So you have a toll-free number, I call you, I don't pay, right? The remote end pays.
So that I knew. But like what I didn't know is that when a company has a toll-free number and they pay like the phone company $1 or whatever, the phone company then takes that $1 and it shares it with every other phone company that helped make the connection.
So there's 1, 2, 3 hops down the chain. Each one of those, for a $1 phone call is getting like maybe 10 cents, right? Carrier 2 is getting 10 cents. Carrier 3 is getting 10 cents.
And so what happened a few years ago, apparently, is some brilliant person was like, I would love to take some of that money. And what they did is they went to like a shady telecom company somewhere, like Crazy Eddie's phone service. And they were like, listen, I am going to place a ton of 1-800 calls through you. And when you get paid for them, share that money with me.
So the more phone calls I can make, and the longer that those phone calls stay up, the more money that I make.
So, creepy? Yeah. Real? No. Or, well, probably not. Hopefully not. I mean, it's a scam designed to, 1, keep you on the line long enough to make money from your call, and 2, designed to freak you out enough that you think you know the person who is in pain and therefore extorting money from you. They're looking for a reaction out of you, so that they can make money out of you, like all scams. So, if you ever receive a call like the ones we heard, do hang up and do call the police to report it. I mean, it's probably 100% fake, most likely it is, but it's still worth reporting, and at the end of the day, this is a scam and these people, they need to be stopped. It's increasing over time. There's going to be more of these calls being made. Maybe one of you guys out there have had a call or know somebody or will have one. So just be safe. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe on those phone calls, and I'll see you real soon in the next video on that chapter. Mike out.